I pledge allegiance
I pledge allegiance
to the band
to the band
of Mr. Schneebly,
of Mr. Schneebly,
and will not fight him
and will not fight him
for creative control.
for creative control.
Josh, you want to ask your mom if you can come over and spend the night tonight?
Yeah, man, I think there's a good chance.
Sweet. What do you want to do?
I think we should watch some movies,
That sounds awesome.
right?
Welcome to this episode of the Digest Show. We're pulling out all the themes this season. We wanted to get more relatable. We want to have some fun this season. And this episode is all about hanging out with your buddies, being a kid. And what do? You binge watch movies. You watch the same like 3 movies over and over and over again. It's a rite of passage. It's real. We've all done it, and we wanted to celebrate that pastime today. We've picked 2 films that we're going to dive into that we feel like for us are all-time classic sleepover movies. And we're going to have some fun, all right?
We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be good.
It's
Gonna be good. Yeah. My 13-year-old heart is throbbing right now.
Yeah, this is really pinned towards like 12 to 4. I think maybe 14 might have been a little too cool to do this. Maybe.
Well, the movie's changed.
The
Let's put it
movie's
that way.
changed.
The movie's changed. Yeah.
So like 12, 13-year-old middle school, just learning how to be social, spend the night at your friend's house, kick the PlayStation 2 on.
Yeah.
Like so real.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So
God.
you and I grew up in like pretty different like socioeconomic situations. I think that's fair to say. Not like drastically different, but I think our sleepovers had different nuances to them. What did they look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, well, sleepovers were at grandma's house, which was in the park, which we already explained to people. That's the trailer park. That's
Yes,
where
sir.
I grew up. And it was, like we played spades on the front porch. We had the boombox going. We watched movies at night. Grandma made liver mush biscuits for breakfast.
Oh my
That-
God, it sounds awesome.
That's the sleep. And, Pilch's, that's my grandma, would be in there just like sitting in her rocker in her blue nightie, just chain smoking like a motherfucker. Like, we're watching Steve Martin next. It's like, all right. And then Pilch would go to sleep, and that's when we would watch our movies.
Nice.
That's how it rolled.
That sounds like fun.
It was fun, man. It was a good way to grow up.
So
Wiffle
I
ball,
grew up-
wiffle ball in
Oh
the front yard.
shit.
That's what we
Okay,
did during the day, right?
there-
the whole
there
day
are
just playing
parallels.
wiffle ball.
I think I've probably spent more hours playing wiffle ball as a kid than maybe anything.
Well, for me, basketball got real
Oh,
close.
we hooped it up too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up in the Midwest. I was born in Central Ohio. My blood bleeds Carolina blue. I'm a Tar Heel at heart, but I happen to grow up in Ohio, and in the Midwest, everyone's got a basement. So sleepovers for us was somebody would bring over the PlayStation 2, which I never had. I got it so fucking late, it was embarrassing. My dad did not want to buy me
Me
that
too.
shit.
I was 15.
Yeah, like so somebody had a PlayStation 2 and they bring it to the house and we go into the basement and we could like stay up as late. We just like glued to the television. We're playing NBA Street. We're
2K2.
maybe playing 2K2, maybe like some Madden or something. And then like we're flipping on the movie School of Rock. We're flipping on
Right.
Dodgeball. We're flipping on like Mike. We're flipping on these movies and we're just falling asleep, zonked out to the menu, just repeating.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
if I was involved, there was certainly some mischief. I
Yeah.
may or may have not been the ringleader of a prank phone call operation, which I was later busted for in the 7th grade. I was called the ringleader.
We
And I
would
liked
get into.
it.
We would dabble. We dabbled.
I had a full-on fucking thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was bad.
Oh, to be a kid again.
So we've already referenced the 2 films we're talking about today, but what we've picked is School of Rock, starring Jack Black, national treasure. Throw him up.
National treasure.
And fucking Dodgeball. I feel like that movie is lost to the sands of time in a lot of ways. But I think if you brought it up to lots of people our age and they're like, "Did you dig on Dodgeball?" They'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I loved Dodgeball." It's definitely geared towards kids and maybe young boys, but the movie's fucking
I don't know. I really enjoyed it at 30, dude. Like, I really did. I think it was funnier to me now than it was then. Let me just say though, like I love how poetically you put that. It's a movie that maybe is like, what'd you say, washed with the sands of time or something like that.
No prettier words have been spoken in the same sentence as Dodgeball.
I mean, but it's definitely one of those movies where I feel like if you ask someone who hasn't seen it since 2001, 2, and you're like, "Do you like Dodgeball?" and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I love that movie."
Then
and
they
then
watch it now,
and they're like, "Oh my god, I cannot condone this language." Oh god. I mean, it's got some doozies in it, but like, you just have to like. It's not. I mean, we're gonna cross this bridge at some point, but I'll just say really quickly, it's not unlike any other. If you watch anything that came out pre 2010, you're gonna hear stuff that we won't hear today, and you just kind of have to. For me, you take it in stride and put it in its place, and realize we're past that. But
everyone that I've told, friends at work and stuff, that we're doing School of Rock, everyone's like all about it. People watch that movie like annually. It's heartwarming and like just makes you fucking feel good and like want to be a music school teacher. And then Dodgeball is just kind of like this goofy, off the fucking wall,
it is
ridiculous fucking movie. But they definitely have similarities. Do you have first memories of watching either of these movies?
I do. I actually have a pretty intense first memory of School of Rock.
Oh, dear.
So yeah, no, like
does it involve a Kangol hat?
No, the Kangol hat wasn't there, but the Panthers jersey was there and the PF Flyers. So I had my first date. School of Rock. But see, here's the kicker, right? I love telling this story because I'm a happy guy, and I've got myself a partner, and I have for a while. But my first date was like, it was this thing where there was these two girls in class, and there was me and a friend of mine. Okay. And the
double date.
Well, yeah. So what happens is the one side of the double date calls it off, the guy, and he doesn't tell me. Then the girls talk to each other, the date's canceled, and I'm at the movies alone. So I watched School of Rock alone for my first memory. Is that not some fucking shit? And you know what?
Dude, you fucking persevered.
Let me tell you something. I swear to God, I'm going to say this, and I mean every fucking second of it. I watched that movie, and I didn't even give a fucking shit that my first date wound up like that. I mean, I started dating the girl, like, the next week at school. But, like, it wasn't like I got rejected. It just... I didn't give a shit. This movie,
Josh, it doesn't sound like you got rejected. It seems like there was an episode of young adolescent awkwardness that you fell victim to, and I'm glad that you rose above and had a nice time.
And this is pre-Facebook, guys. So it wasn't just, we had to call each other on the landline, and we had to ask our moms, can I use the phone for a little bit? Like, that's where it was.
I love envisioning these memories of like a double date at the movies, but in reality, like someone drops you off in a car.
That's it.
And gives you like $10. And I have a twin sister, so I had to share this Nokia phone with my sister. Give me the phone! It's like,
we're ready to be picked up.
Oh my God. I always had to go with my sister, and I always fucking hated it.
Yeah, but anyway, moral of the story is I watched this movie, and this movie like really like was one of the movies that made me just fall in love with like movies, like be the fan of movies that I am today, because I watched this movie. I started playing guitar like right after that. Like I was really influenced by this, and I wanted to be Jack Black with everything inside of my fucking soul. And I proceeded to basically mimic him for the next like 8 years,
I don't think it can be overstated how vital that man's sense of humor is to me as a human being. Like it, especially the Tenacious D show, just like such a huge impact on me.
Yeah.
Huge.
On the special features has his MTV diary, Jack Black.
Dude, that's like one of my favorite things of all time.
He's like, we're gonna go get some grub, and he goes through the McDonald's drive-thru,
and he's like on top. Yeah.
Yes. Dude, Jablinski. He's everything, man.
We're gonna get to him. We're gonna get to
Yeah,
him.
we are. Sorry.
Do you have a memory of Dodgeball?
I don't. I don't know. I've seen Dodgeball so many goddamn times.
How many goddamn times?
I really just don't even know what the first time was. I'm willing to bet you the first time I watched it, it was probably on DVD at someone's house, and I probably watched it. We probably watched it like 4 times just during that one sleepover because I thought it was hilarious.
I watched it for this episode. I probably haven't seen it in 20 fucking years.
Mhm.
I know every single word to that movie.
It's
Like,
amazing,
every
right?
beat. And like it's only an hour and a half long.
That's it.
So like I don't really have a first memory of School of Rock. I seem to remember a sleepover at a really rich kid's house and there was a home theater involved.
Oh, that is a good way to watch School of Rock on the stereo.
I think I don't know if it was my first time, but I remember that and I was like, what, am I allowed to be here? Like this is fucking crazy. But Dodgeball was like the first DVD I ever owned. Like I remember getting it for Christmas because me and my best friend Travis Birch, we would get up and we would play PlayStation 2 and watch that movie like endlessly. And that was one of the first DVDs I ever had was fucking Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller, Dodgeball.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious because School of Rock is one of the first DVDs I ever owned. I got it for Christmas when I
Power slide
got
on the front.
Yeah. Yep. I got a 13-inch TV, a DVD player, and School of Rock, Waterboy, and I want to say it was Billy Madison. That was like my Christmas that year. And I was like, oh my
Happy Gilmore Productions package right there.
Dude, what's up?
I just had a random memory I want to share. I remember my mom getting a friend two or three VHSs as a birthday gift to a party. I remember I was like embarrassed. It was like 1990.
Mom!
It was like 1999,
Yeah.
2000. I remember what they were. I remember one was Apollo 13. That was a great gift,
Dude, great gift.
but she got the VHS. It was the turn of the century.
But what if they only had a VHS player? What if Anne was like mind melding this situation and was like, I know they only have a VHS player. He thinks they got a DVD player, but they don't yet. And I'm hooking this up. That's what happened. I'm willing to bet money.
My mother would have thought ahead like that.
Right?
Maybe you're right.
It just
Tyler.
shattered your memory. I just shattered it. It's over now.
I think you have a little bit you want to share with the audience.
Yeah, I mean,
Josh's bit. Lay it
Josh's
out.
bit. What bit? What is it? You know,
Bit.
here's the thing. Basically, like this episode.
Wait.
Oh, yep,
I think
here
there's potential for a segment here. And I just decided I want you to always start Blue's bit with, here's the thing.
we go. Here's the thing.
You just did it. Do it one more time.
Okay, so here's the thing. I can do it. I think I got it. It's like a button. I'm hitting a button. People don't know, but here's the thing. All right.
Sorry.
No. Okay. So here's the thing. These two movies are the reason we picked them. We've done great movies. We've done like great cinematic works.
We've done great movies.
But we love movies of all kind, and we want everyone to know that. And these movies are they're the most stereotypical, quintessential, churned out, like, oh, bummer, I need some money fast. I have this crazy idea. Oh, awesome, things are working out really good. I'm gonna pull this off. Oh no, adversity. Wait, I learned a lesson. I'm a better person. Great, things work out in the end. Buy this DVD and rewatch it a lot of times. Like, that's what these movies are.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad either. I want to buy the DVD and rewatch it a bunch of fucking times because it's fun.
Dude, when
It's
I watched
fun.
School of Rock, I had a grin on my face for 2 hours.
Fuck yes.
I was literally smiling
Yes.
for like an hour and 45 minutes. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
The upper cheekbones start to get a little tense. You know, you're like,
betcha.
wow, what's going on over there?
You betcha.
Right? Rub it out.
No, I'm glad you laid that out. Like, this show is all about loving film and loving movies of all creeds and all styles and all high, middle, low brow shit. Like being entertained is being entertained, and
Yeah, it is.
Fuck if
And-
School of Rock doesn't make me just as happy as, I don't know, The Gone with the fucking Wind. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and Dodgeball, the subtitle of the movie, a true underdog story. Like both these stories are underdog stories. I mean, Jack Black is this dorky like rock and roll nerd who like he basically through the course of this movie like finds his absolute true calling and does the thing that is like the purest form of himself, and it works. And like Dodgeball is kind of this other underdog story about these people that don't necessarily usually make it, but they make it and they get right and they live their life in a happy way, you know?
Your children have touched me. And I believe I've touched them as well.
The sincerity on his face when he
Because
delivers
it is
that
really
line.
sweet.
I know, it's so sweet. It's just context is everything. Context is everything, dude. Oh my God. The relief on those parents' faces when they saw their kids up there shredding rock and roll the next day. Like, oh, whew, this is the project.
I really had to like check my there's lots of logistics in both of these movies that don't make any sense, and it felt good to like check that out the door and just have a nice time.
Exactly. This is not the podcast for pointing out loopholes. This is not the podcast for holding feet to the fire. This is the podcast for just loving on two amazing, well, I take that back. Multiple highly committed comedic performances, some great filmmaking
and Vince Vaughn.
And Vince Vaughn.
I think Vince Vaughn might be the mule of the show. I'm gonna pick on Vince Vaughn today.
The mule.
Is it weird that I kind of identify with Vince Vaughn?
No.
I kind of like identify with Vince Vaughn a little bit.
Well, that might make some of the stuff I say later a little tough, but you do look, your jacket's similar. I'm just saying.
Thanks for pointing out the new jacket.
Hey, everybody's crazy about a sharp dressed person.
Let's get into some Jablinski.
Jablinski. First and foremost, can we just say best Instagram follow on the face of the fucking planet? And if you didn't know that, you need to know that.
He doesn't need our endorsement.
No, this is a fucking public service announcement. This is not. Hey, if you are not following Jack Black, you need to be. Your life will be full of sunshine every fucking time he makes a post.
Do you think he'd let me just come and live with him for a month or two?
Probably. And that's the vibe I get from Jack Black. Probably. He probably would.
The level of his videos is like insane.
The energy that man has is just, he must sleep for like 12 hours and just like pass out like hard as a fucking like log.
I feel like all that man wants to do is just bring joy to the world.
Mm-hmm.
All he wants to do. And can I just say, rewatching this film, a young Jack Black is fucking handsome.
Sharp man, yeah, for
He's
sure.
good looking.
Yep.
I can't remember the last time I had such a nice time watching someone perform in a movie. And like the arc of his character to just be a slob and a fucking idiot and like a loser, and no one wants to hang out with that dude. Like, as someone who's been in bands and stuff in my life, like I don't want to be within 10 feet of that person. And then to like find his true calling and make me as the viewer, like I was like, I want to fucking do that. I want to teach kids how to rock.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
I know, me too. I'm like driving down the road. I'm like telling V, I'm like, I think I should open up like a school of art and like hire one of my friends who knows music to like teach the kids music, and then I'll teach them art, and we'll like just teach these kids how to be badass free thinkers and artists, and we can just move somewhere in an affluent suburb and have them pay us a lot of money for the after school program, and we'll never have to work again.
We've had this thought in this conversation before.
Oh shit, we were gonna build a college. I remember this. Okay,
you remember? And I was gonna teach Attitude 101.
Attitude 101. Yes, you need to learn how to have the sass, motherfucker.
Look
There's
at
your
me,
professor.
Look at me. No one gives as much of a fuck than you do.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like this film is so heartwarming, and he's like obviously the central part of it.
Well,
And
you
Go.
like. There's no way anybody else could have played
no,
this.
like, can we just throw like some names like the first Jason Biggs, like he could have contemporary person, like
Okay.
fucking what's the tall guy? How I Met Your Mother?
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel, Victoria's man crush,
Total.
celebrity husband. Like those are some people that could have played this role. But Jack Black also is like an incredibly talented musician, vocalist, performer. Like his physicality in this movie is what makes it so joyful.
Yes.
And like he's an actual musician, and it's obvious.
Yes.
And even when he's like teaching the kids about rock history and stuff, which is stuff I nerd out on, it's his like passion for it is sincere, and it's obvious. He's not acting. Like he loves that shit.
Well, can I share something with you? Like, first off,
Please.
I think we're both on the same page when we say School of Rock is one of our all-time favorites. Like, it's one of those, like, it shaped my life. Like, I learned how to play Smoke on the Water. I learned my first guitar song by pausing and well, listen, not everybody's you, dude. Like, I'm not you on guitar. I'm an artist. Guitar is a hobby for me. But, like, it helped shape my life and, like, move me in a direction, like, to be an artist. Like, it's one of those kind of films for me. But, like, one thing I never knew until I watched the special fucking features on the Blu-ray was that Ned Schneebly, Mike White, wrote this
the
film,
movie. Yeah.
and they were neighbors. He was neighbors with Jack Black, and he wrote this movie for Jack Black, all because he used to sit around and watch Jack Black and he had this daydream idea where Jack Black had a backing band of nothing but kids, and he eventually wrote School of Rock. It's a hand in glove, man. There's no way this movie is pure fucking kismet, and you can tell.
Look at my face.
I know, it's magic.
I knew that Mike White wrote the film. Ugh, I'm about to cry right now.
And then you get Richard Linklater to direct it. Are you?
I know. I can't believe
like
it's taken
a
us this long.
Heavyweight director.
Yeah, someone who knows what they're doing made this film.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
God damn, that's such a good story.
I know. I couldn't believe that I never knew that. Like I always just used to think like, man, how magical that Jack Black was like this guy. Like nobody else could have done this. Well, yeah, nobody else could have because it was absolutely written for him. And I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet you that so much of that was just pure improv. Yeah. I mean,
or just like based on one of Mike White's experience, it's like saw Jack do something.
Correct.
And like literally wrote it into the movie so that when he performs it, like being a big Tenacious D fan and everything, like when he teaches Lawrence the handshake, like that's such like a natural Jack, like, let's rock, caboodle.
Larry, welcome to my world. I love that because he starts calling him Larry, and it's like Larry's so much cooler than Lawrence, right? Like, yeah, yeah, dude, let's rock.
Boot it, caboot it, let's go. We're gonna get to our list later, but I just can't help but bring up like my favorite part of this film is that it's so heartwarming and how this character learns how to empower these kids, and like he sees first it's like a selfish thing, like he sees potential because he just got, how can you kick me out of what is mine? Like he's like fulfilling this like vengeful thing, but then he falls in love with these children.
Totally.
like 100%.
And they've touched him, and he's touched them. He's pretty sure that he's touched them back.
The light fades from his eyes at that point. So
it's like one of the like best sums for his performance for me. Like just to kind of shout out this moment because it's like a subtle thing, but like it's like they get busted, right? Code red because he's got half the kids like watching the security and soundproofing the room, and it's like Mullins is coming, and so he gets caught, and he's like, first off. I mean, let me just take the time. I don't think it's going to be on anyone's list, but one of my favorite lines of the whole fucking movie is when she comes in there and she's like, Miss Lemons said she heard music coming from the room. It's like, uh-oh, sounds like Miss Lemons is on crack. Right, kids? And then she catches him because his like Gibson's sitting right there. So he puts it on And he's like, "Look, get off your ad, let's do some math." And then it's like, it's a magic number. The guy is like, he's so full of spirit and energy and like love of music. And that's what's so contagious. You've said it before already, but like, it's contagious. Like you walk away from that and you're like, how can you not love rock and roll? How?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's one of the top 3 most important things in my life. And this movie just like confirms that.
100%.
100%.
If there was a Mount Rushmore, he'd be on there.
I think, when like Steve Martin would come on David Letterman, that was like a big deal for my parents. Like they're tuning in to watch that, and when Will Ferrell shows up when we're 40, we're going to watch it. And I think Jack Black he'll be of that echelon for as we age and he ages and he stays in popular culture. He's so important to so many people our age, and the goofiness of his humor and stuff. I just think it just got kind of real on the pod, but it's sincere. Like he means a lot to me personally and the people of our generation, and his joy and his humor. I love him deeply.
You know what you just made me think of?
What's that?
What's Letterman show? My next guest.
Yeah.
Give me the Jack Black episode of that. That's what I want.
I happen to know that Jack Black also bought one of Flea's old house.
They're probably buds.
God, can I just have a moment with that daydream? My 13-year-old self is freaking out right now.
Let me add something about Jack Black though, really quick though. We're just talking about one movie. One.
Yeah.
This guy has got a few, like this is by far, like I think his most iconic role. And I'll be very specific with that. But he has, he has some like big time roles like that he's played like, as The
Holiday?
This is his lead. The fucking Holiday.
What? It's a good rom-com.
That's Kate Winslet gold right there.
Mm.
But anyway, the guy, he's made a lot of movies, but just with this one movie, he kind of becomes a whole thing to a generation. Like he really supplanted himself in our media conscious, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is how we'll remember him.
Yeah.
Tenacious D and School of Rock. And maybe The Holiday.
Yeah. High Fidelity. Orange County.
Orange County. Can I just give like one bone to Orange County real quick?
Sure.
I need some of your piss.
That's what I'm saying, man. The guy he's the shit.
Romping around in his fucking underwear with Colin Hanks for 2 hours. That's another great movie.
Tropic Thunder.
Don't tease me with the Tropic Thunder shit.
Saying, that one movie, Bernie, is really good.
That's what I'm just thinking of as well. And can I just again brought up Tenacious D, like there's the music, like the songs are awesome, the movie's great, but the show was a big fucking deal. Like smoking pot for the first time and getting into music that was important and like that kind of like stoner humor, but that was like smart and kept you on your toes. Like it was really fucking important. And like even now as a nearly 30-year-old man, like that kind of humor and that rhythm is from that show. And it's from him. That's the last I'll say.
I second that motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other side of this conversation is Hollywood royalty? Is that too much?
Benny Stiller.
And Vince Vaughn. We're gonna do a little.
Yeah, we'll give him a minute.
Why are we being so rude to him?
We'll find out, won't we?
He's kind of a dick. Damn it! Am I an asshole?
Can I give a leadoff swing at Ben Stiller? I want to openly admit something to the world.
Take the floor.
I think that I speak for a lot of people, but I know I speak for myself when I say I think I take Ben Stiller's like creative ability for granted. Like I mean that. Like, I don't think that. I think this guy, not only can he be like a lead in like a slapstick fucking SNL goofy fucking kind of a role, but he can also write a comedy movie. He can direct a movie. He can act in something that's not slapstick and still be funny. And it's like, you might have your personal feelings about him, but like, I don't think that there's a lot of people out there like Ben Stiller. And I never really had those kind of thoughts until I was thinking about Dodgeball in a critical way, and his performance in particular, because it's something. It's really something to behold.
It's obviously not very dissimilar from a lot of his other famous comedy roles, like Heavyweights and Zoolander. But then there's like Along Came Polly and Meet the Fockers, Ben Stiller, where he's like a regular dude. What's the other one? Comeback Kid?
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah. Or Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak Kid, yeah.
I think.
He's very, I appreciate that fact checkers. I don't really, this isn't an episode where I fact check as we go. But he definitely like has a lane and he stays in it. He's good at it and he's talented. And obviously his dad and his mother are famous Hollywood, stalwarts. And I think, I don't know.
R.I.P. Jerry.
R.I.P. Jerry Stiller.
R.I.P. Wait. Cheers. Jerry.
Yeah, Ben Stiller's great. His moment's come and gone, I think, as far as popularity goes. What's the last thing Ben Stiller did? That like Life of that magazine movie?
I don't know the answer to that question, which semi proves your point. But give me just 1 second here. I'm willing to bet you if we looked it up.
Let's do it. I'll do it right now.
We'd be surprised.
Okay.
That Life at the Morty? Last thing.
Life of.
Well, I mean, he did Zoolander 2 just a few years ago.
That's true.
I mean, not that puts him at the apex of popularity, but I think what Ben Stiller.
Wait, stop.
I bet the guy's directing and producing a lot.
The first thing that pops up when you use IMDb search Ben Stiller is producer Tropic Thunder. I'm just saying.
Is it his best movie? I dare say yes.
I'm not saying shit. Anyone who cares about me and listens to my opinions knows how I feel about that movie.
Yeah, and they're gonna get a whole fucking episode of it at some point.
What the fuck?
What is it?
Dodgeball 2 has been announced.
Ow! Dodgeball 2! Dude, WHITE is coming back.
There's gonna be droves of 32-year-old men flocking to the theaters.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That'd be great.
This is crazy. Digest show, breaking news. But just for the record, to come back to what we were talking about, hasn't done shit. Like produce some TV stuff.
What's his last 5? What's his last directed? What did he direct last?
We narrow it down. Go Braves. 2021, some TV episodes of a show called Severance.
Yeah, the movie. What's the last movie?
Zoolander 2, 2016. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. That's the film I was trying to remember the name of. What was I calling it?
I was thinking he had something to do with that, the Meyerowitz stories or something like that. That got a lot of acclaim too, but I can't remember. Either way.
I can think about his Dodgeball 2.
Okay. Enough time going down his IMDb reigns. I'm just saying, I just think the guy, he gets a little underrated because at least maybe I feel like I've underrated him, because when I think of people like that, I go to Ben Stiller. I go to Jim Carrey. I go to Eddie Murphy. Like those kind of characters that carry like franchises, that like put on makeup and go into full deep, like, you developed an SNL character and they made a movie out of it. Like you go deep, Nutty Professor, like Will Ferrell.
You're naming other people though, not Ben Stiller.
Exactly. That's because I think that Ben Stiller belongs in that group though. That's what I'm saying. Like I think he legitimately has he's earned his place in that, but it's just I never really thought of him that way. That was my whole point.
I have two things to say. I don't think that his characters are diverse enough, and I believe I'll go on the record right now that Ben Stiller properly rated.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Like his characters, like this movie, it's awesome. I love watching. I love rooting against him and watching him getting his ass kicked. Excuse me, but like I said earlier, like it's not that much different than his other like douchebaggy, airheady, like characters. Even like his character in this movie gets really fucking fat, like in Heavyweights and shit like that. And like Zoolander, he's like a dumb model and everything, but I don't know. It's not that much. I still love the guy. I just don't think he's as eclectic as some of the other character comedians that you named.
Sure. And I definitely agree that, especially about this character and Heavyweights in particular. Zoolander, a little different. In those other movies, he's like this jockey, pseudo, like, fitness guy in both movies. But, like, in Zoolander, he's more of just, like, an idiot, vapid model, which I also think that's a hilarious performance.
Oh,
so
classic.
But anyway, no, I get it. I feel you. But in this movie, though, can we just say this dude's 100% committed to this, like to White Goodman, like 100%. Like the way they open up on his face as he's doing the squat and he's like straining. Oh yeah. And he gets it up and he's like slapping asses with Michelle and giving look at the show. And he's like shaking. Like the guy is like 100% in. He dove in.
Yeah.
Right?
That's awesome.
Gotta give him that.
I'm really proud of him.
Oh, here we go. He's proud of him.
No, I'm joking. I'm not going to pull that shit out again. But I bet Ben Stiller's like a nerdy, like studious guy. Like he's a writer, he's a creative dude, and the fact that he goes that hard in the movie, got the hair coif, he's fucking strutting around, he's great with Vince Vaughn. Yeah, he's awesome in this movie, dude. He's hilarious. He's a great 13-year-old movie villain.
Yes,
like he's perfect.
Yeah,
he's great. Do I think he's Eddie Murphy? No, but I love watching him.
He's not Eddie Murphy.
That's what you said.
No. I didn't say he was Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's in a category alone, okay? Like, there's Eddie Murphy, and then there are other, like, Jim Carrey's no Eddie Murphy. Get the fuck out of here.
You know how I feel about Jim Carrey.
I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, it sounds like you don't really care too much for him, but I
just think he's, like, gratuitous. I think he's egregiously overrated.
Okay. Moving on. I just think, like... you said he's a good like 13-year-old movie villain. I think it was still pretty funny to me to watch.
No, same. Absolutely.
This movie is like, let's just get one thing out in the open. Like, if there's a stereotype that exists, it exists as a dodgeball team in the tournament of the movie Dodgeball. Like every stereotype you've ever seen is in that dodgeball tournament. But he plays this stereotype of this like completely vapid, airheaded, like, you caught me reading the dictionary. I like to get a mental sweat too. Like completely staged, like everything about it.
He's acting opposite his real life wife, Christine Taylor.
Yeah. And she had to be like on the edge. Like she had to be losing it. Like there's just no way. How do you not? Anyway.
Give me 90 seconds on Vince Vaughn.
90 seconds on Vince Vaughn. I get the feeling that Vince Vaughn in this movie is like this early 2000s, like broed out douchey Buddha in this movie.
Broed out douchey Buddha.
Yes.
I like that.
He's brushing his teeth with the Yoo-hoo. The dog's licking his balls to wake him up.
We're talking about his character, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, his performance too.
He doesn't really do much. Like he's the
No.
hero of the movie, but he just kind of is like sarcastic and stands there and is tall and just like
The bro douche Buddha thing is like that's Vince Vaughn, not just this character. Like
Yeah.
I feel like every time he's in a movie, he's like that. Like okay, in Old School, he's the character with all the kids, and it's just like he's like, oh, nothing bothers me. Life's really simple. Like I just
Yeah.
like I
You just-
objectify women and I do this and like this is it's nothing. Yeah, you know, I'm like a bro douche Buddha. Like I don't give a shit. I'm zenned out. But like
what you
fuck
just
you.
said, nothing bothers me.
Yeah.
You.
That's the vibe I get from him. But like in this movie in particular, you get this charm from him
yeah.
that plays into the story. But then
He's
you also
warm.
get like he'll charm you, but then he'll chide you. Like that's what I kept saying in my head. Like he's like one of his best lines. It's this, and he's good at subtle comedy. I'll give the guy that. Like
talented guy. Yeah.
he'll deliver a line and it sneaks under the radar and you'll laugh like 15 seconds later.
Yeah. Totally.
That's Vince Vaughn. And one of my favorites is he goes, they've just found out
I have my favorite. So
that
I'm
the
glad-
car wash didn't work out. And he goes, guys,
Yeah.
I know this is a lot to take, but if an impromptu car wash doesn't get us the $50,000 that we need to save this place, it's just not in the cards. And it's like when you hear that, like, that's hilarious. Like he's being so like, you guys are stupid. You're like, I'm operating in this realm where I'm telling you, like, I know this is a lot for you to take, but like if an impromptu car wash doesn't get us $50,000, then you know, it's not gonna work out.
I have two of my favorite Vince Vaughn moments, are you guys had me at Blood and Semen,
You had me in blood and semen. That's a great one. Yep.
and then my all-time favorite is when he walks into Christine Taylor's house for the first time after he's like kind of pushed off Ben Stiller's character, and she's like obsessed with unicorns for some reason. And he just goes, "Dear Barbara."
Okay. Time out.
What?
I got a question,
Okay.
and I want it on the record.
Why
What
am I-
would you do if you were dating a chick
Yeah.
and you'd never been in her home
Yeah.
and you walked in and it looks like that fucking unicorn palace?
I think that suddenly my apartment would have been flooded and or on fire. There would have been in some impending danger that I needed to tend to. Someone had a stroke. There was a car accident.
So your landlord was calling real quick.
Yes.
Dude, oh my goodness. That's one of the best like niche parts of that whole movie.
I might have like rolled with it at one part in my life, but now, no thank you.
No, that's any like I don't care. You substitute unicorn for anything. If you have that much of it, I am not okay.
Right, like if you have like a cute little thing you've held on to and like you got like a couple unicorns on the bookshelf and like
Yeah.
a magnet on the fridge, like okay,
We're doing
That's
all
fine.
right. Yeah. But like no.
not a shrine to
Throughout the entire
To-
home.
like a Lisa Frank montage going throughout your entire house. No thank
down
you.
down to the is that the person who designed the Trapper Keepers?
I think Lisa Frank is a incredibly big influence on all things 1983 to 1998. So if a Trapper Keeper is there, then yes, Lisa Frank's
Okay.
involved.
I'll do some independent research. Okay. Lastly, though, I want to give my second favorite Vince Vaughn, and that's a simple one. It's at the very beginning of the movie when Owen's telling him that he's doing the voicemail dating, and he's like, "It's been like a whole month, and no one's left."
Oh
me."
yeah,
And he walks away from him. He's like, "See you later, dater."
Dater.
I love it. I fucking
like,
love it.
So like those are the parts of Vince Vaughn that I like.
That's what I mean. It's the
that I
charm,
kind of
and
relate
then
to.
there's this
being
douche
charming
thing.
and being like, "See you later, dater."
Yep. I know.
Quick side note: did you catch him on Curb Your Enthusiasm this past season?
I did not.
He was a great recurring character. It was a highlight for me. Just thought I'd throw him that bone.
Curb's in the bank. I've only watched a small handful of episodes over the years. I'm saving it. Cause it's just like, I know at some point in my life, I'm going to be like, I need a good TV show right now. And there's a lot of it. And I know the humor will be right on point for me. So I've just kind of been banking it.
You're gonna die.
You.
You're
I'm
gonna
a weirdo. I do stuff like that, but like I've been banking that show because I know I'm gonna like, and I'll eat it. I'll eat it like it's a fucking the best cake, and I'll fucking eat that shit up. A cheesecake on my birthday. I'll just go through it. I'll watch it all in a couple of months.
So the next kind of thing we could break down is we got a sports movie really at its essence here, and then we have a movie about kids in the classroom, right?
Yes.
So let's meet the players.
Let's meet the players.
What was your name?
Katie.
Katie, what was that thing you were playing today, the big thing?
Cello.
Okay, this is a bass guitar, and it's the exact same thing, but instead of playing like this, you tip it on the side, cello, you've got a bass.
Let's talk about those kids, boy.
Love them.
Who's your favorite?
Oh, no doubt, Larry.
Okay, cool.
Larry. Okay, because Larry is totally cool enough to be in whatever band. He can be in my band. He's probably a little good to be in my band, but he could be in my band. Larry can.
Yeah, I really like Larry. Even today, like I always like I try and find like the people I know are like strong human beings at their core, but might be a little quiet and awkward. And I like try. It's a social experiment I've been doing, and it comes in different packages. But I try and find those people and like become their friends because I think those souls are important. And I would, if I was in a classroom with Larry, I'd be trying to hang out with Larry.
Yeah, totally.
My
Totally.
favorite is Tamika, no doubt.
Right?
That's
oh
my girl.
Goodness. Nice pipes, Tamika.
And I like the drummer kid, Zack Attack.
Right?
Holy shit! I just realized I called a dude I used to work with Zack Attack because of School of Rock.
Bada boom.
Didn't even think about it.
Bada boom.
What's
I do appreciate Summer though.
Oh my god.
A groupie is a slut. They sleep with the band. I created a special position for you. Like, I mean, I love that. She like at the Battle of the Bands, they're like, "Who's this band's manager?" She's like, "It's me." And then they cut to the School of Rock at the end of the movie, and she's like on the phone, like making a record deal. It's just like, I don't know, like run that shit, girl. Go get them.
What does he say about like? I swear to God, Summer, if you go like mongering for accolades one more time.
Yeah.
So funny.
Right. Shit, I lost it. Move on.
Oh, that's cool. What's the guitar playing kid's name?
Zach.
Zach's the guitar player. Who's the drummer?
Frankie.
Frankie. I love Zach. Zach's another one. You just find those souls that have so much
Freddie.
to offer. Freddie. Thank you.
Freddie.
You find those souls that have so much to offer. When Jack like steps like is like they write step off. A step off. About his dad being a bully.
Yeah.
It's
total
just like,
dick.
Such a dick. What would you do if someone was bullying you? What would you do?
That also reminded me though of
step up.
like real quick back to Summer and like the parent conference. Summer's mom's like, and why is my daughter obsessed with David Geffen?
Yeah.
It's so good. And then like Larry's dad holds up the yes CD and he's like, and why is this homework? Like,
why is my daughter obsessed with David Geffen?
because this man is giving them a proper education.
You just did a Jack Black hand thing. I loved it.
Dude, I did it.
I love that he gives the kids like the redheaded dude and the guy with the glasses. Like, you guys are the roadies.
Yeah. Well,
Light show.
It's the just because you're not in the band doesn't mean you're not in the band, you know? And I appreciate that. Like, I appreciated that because I was a guy who was always willing to help, and I was never good enough to be in like a legit band. So it was always cool to feel like you're part of the crew. I might not be part of the band, but you're part of the crew. You can sit at the merch table.
It's important.
You can help. We can use your van to move stuff, and you can like help us load stuff. Like,
I just want to go on the record. Like, the merch table is a very important job. And
It's
if
an
anyone
important
out there
job.
ever felt slighted by being asked to work the merch table, you weren't. Okay?
yeah, you need to grow the fuck up.
I just found one of my favorite quotes when he's teaching Lawrence that he empowers him for the first time. He goes, "He will be rocking in my show." He's doing the Doors.
Yep.
The bass playing chick, probably the most natural rock and roll attitude out of all of them.
Katie.
Cello.
You've got a base. Yep.
She's awesome. Love
Yep.
Katie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of my favorite moments with the kids is when Zach has written the song and Schneebly / Dewey is over talking to the girls about, or someone about some other ancillary thing with the band, and he's hearing Zach play this out of his ear. Like you can, he's like leaning into it, and he can barely hear it across the room, and then he like pops up. And he does that like Jack Black thing where he like snaps each leg in front of the fucking other one. Like, so like, I don't know what that is, but it's so him. And he goes up to him and he's like, whoa, 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 what's this? And then Zach's like, what are you doing? He's like, what do you mean, what am I doing? We're learning your song. That's what a band's for, you know? And it's like, that's what it is. That's right. Like, that's what
That's
friends
one of
are
the
for.
moments that
when
chokes
you're-
me up when it turns and it goes from him like living vicariously through his kids to him becoming a fucking educator
Yes.
and being like, what do you, and just honestly, Zach's song's the best song. It's fucking dope.
It is. And hey, let's give some credit to the cheerleaders. Okay, which by the way,
Those ladies can sing.
Can I
All of
just-
them.
well, not the cheerleaders. That's the backup singers.
Oh, the
The
cheerleaders.
well, they're not the cheerleaders. He called them groupies, and it was like the
oh.
two blonde girls and Summer. And I just want the one thing I wanted to like shout out really quick is like when he gives them the role, and he tells them like, "You guys are groupies." Like Summer's all like confused, and those two girls like faces light up, and they're like, "Ah!" And they like drop out of their chairs, and they're like, "Yay!" You know, and they're the ones who named the band. They
That's
come
what I was
up
gonna
with the
say.
t-shirt. Yeah,
I was like, there's some weird shit with the groupie word, but like, they named the band
they named the band,
and they
I
come up
think-
with the logo.
and they give him the idea because he pops up from that and then goes to Zach, and he's like that. I just think it's cool that Dewey Finn winds up teaching like this experience with these kids has him open like an after school of rock, and he like rocks out with these kids, and him and Ned Schneebly teaching guitar. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, I love that part. What was their band called? Megadeth.
I don't know anything about bands with maggot in the name.
Let's talk about the dodgeball teams.
Allow me the pleasure of introducing you to Blade, Laser, Blazer. I believe you've met my fitness consigliere, Michelle.
The teams.
So Average Joe's, what's the bald African American gentleman's name?
Dwight.
Dwight. I love him.
Dwight.
My favorite part is when he's talking to Justin Long about the guy dying on the roller coaster, and he goes, "Happened to my cousin Ray Ray." Boop, right over the edge. That used
Right over the edge.
to kill me as a kid.
And
And
don't worry, Justin. He's gonna ride that roller coaster. And he's gonna fall off and break every bone in his body.
guess what happens?
He falls off and breaks every bone in his body.
Watching Justin Long just get eviscerated by dodgeballs and wrenches for an hour and a half. It's pretty fucking funny.
It's great. Before I go to Justin though, I just want to add one thing about Dwight that I love. When they're in the Dirty Sanchez bar.
Yeah, I loved that. I remember finding out what that was as his 12-year-old.
Oh God, that's one of those like early 2000s things.
Yeah.
But when
Is Rob Schneider in this movie?
Oh, the shirt that Dwight's wearing in there is like it's like
He
a
wears it the
Picasso.
whole movie.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, I think he wears it more than once.
Maybe, but anyway, when he's in the bar, the shirt's like a Picasso and like a Roy Lichtenstein painting like mixed, and it's a
like
dope shirt. Like
it's like
I
a-
want that shirt.
It's like a Jerry Garcia tie shirt.
Yeah, sure, I'll take that.
And
Anyway, Justin.
Yeah, that guy's.
Okay. When he's trying out for cheerleading and Mary Beth from All That, like the sound that they pipe in when they pull her off of his face, like it almost hits my gag reflex like every fucking time. It's like, oh God.
This movie really doesn't age super well, does it?
I think it ages great. I think it's a perfect portrait of what life was like at that time, dude. What in the halls of my middle school, I heard far fouler
Oh yeah.
words and shit than you hear in this movie.
I love when what's her face with the unibrow beams the guy in the bar, and they're like, "I think that guy might be dead."
I think that guy might be dead. Yeah, it's great.
So freaky naughty. Oh,
well,
what? Go ahead.
well, we brought up the teams, but you also we can't overlook the fact that we get Hank Azaria and Rip Torn as Patches Dolan. I mean, like, great. I mean,
I gotta save it. Shit.
Okay, so we'll save it.
It's my favorite moment. No, Rip Torn is like amazing in this movie.
I mean, what's the quintessential quote from this movie, right? I doubt it's is it the wrench? Okay, we'll move along. Move along.
Should we do our first little countdown?
Let's do it.
3 shining moments inside 3 shining moments.
What's the
Josh
game,
and
my friends?
Josh and I are going to pick our 3 favorite moments from these 2 films. I'm going to pick 2 from School of Rock and 1 from Dodgeball. Josh was going to pick 1 from School of Rock and 2 from Dodgeball.
Bam.
You go first.
Split it up.
You go first.
We split. You want me to just do all of mine, or are we doing like a back and forth type situation? What's happening here?
I like to do the back and forth.
Back and forth. So okay. My number 3 is a sound effect in Dodgeball, and it's the sound of those red rubber balls hitting people's flesh. Like, I don't know how they nailed that so fucking well.
There's so many like fart joke and dick joke moments in this movie that just made me gut laugh. They're so fucking ridiculous.
But the way they pipe in the sound of those balls, like slapping someone in the face, that alone is enough to make me crack up. Just like that. You can't imitate it. It's just, but it's like, it's so spot on. Cause like I got hit in the face with those balls, like playing jail ball or dodgeball, in school. And it's like, that shit is like so on point.
Nice. My number 3, my number 3 favorite from School of Rock, I guess, would be when they lose the Battle of the Bands, and Jack Black is devastated, and all the kids come to him. They're like, "It doesn't matter." I don't know if they're calling him Mr. S at this point or not, but what are you talking about? We just played a kick-ass show. That was fucking awesome. They're cheering for an encore. Let's get back out there. And they pull him off the couch. And he just like owns it and is like the front man and just puts it on, and it brings a tear to my eye. And it's a comedy, blah blah blah, but it's a fucking heartwarming movie. And that moment is like that's my number 3.
Absolutely. My number 2 is like a sequence in School of Rock. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my 1 School of Rock pick out of the way. So there's so both these movies are really short. So when you really dissect them, like a sequence can be pretty quick, right? He gets busted. They need to go to music class. Cut to him peeing. He hears the music. He runs upstairs. He snoops. He has the idea. He runs to the van. Cut to White Room, jamming in the background. He's running to the van to get the gear. He's setting it up in the classroom, right? And then you get the, what's your name? Come over here. What's that thing you're playing? The cello. Turn it this way. Cello. You've got a bass. And then all the way through to getting them all in that one moment set up. And they start jamming out to Smoke on the Water. And he's like teaching each one of them. He's like, okay, give me that note that we got earlier. Okay, give me a little bit out. Okay, make sure it chugs. Okay, now, Lawrence, okay, give me that up, not the middle one. I changed my mind. Okay, yeah, that's right. Now,
change your mind.
Now, an octave below that, and they're like, they all start just like jamming out, and it's like is my favorite shit in that movie is that sequence. Like,
Dude is talented.
He is.
Yeah,
he takes those kids like all those kids like play
talented in their own right.
Fuck yes, but to get any group of people on the same page, with speed like that means you know what you're doing. You're good. Yeah.
I'll take this moment. My number 2 pick is my one dodgeball pick.
Oh.
Probably the most famous moment of this movie, right?
Heyo. I don't know.
So they start training with Patches O'Houlihan. He starts throwing wrenches at them and drilling Justin Long in the face, who does a great job of screaming in agony, by the way. They crushes it.
Great job. Great job.
When I watched it, I was like, oh, good for you, Justin Long, going for it. And Vince Vaughn's character says, Patches, is this really necessary? And Patches says, necessary? Is it necessary that I drink my own urine? No, but it's sterile. I like the taste.
Fucking Rip Torn, dude. Rip Torn is like a fucking tour de force as Patches O'Houlihan.
Like, I had to pause the movie when he said that. I just lost it.
God. Can I just say I love the space that they gave to Justin Long just wallowing on the ground after that first wrench. Like they gave him a lot of time to just
he gives a good oh god. He gives like a oh
god. Yeah. And he's like they give it space and it draws out the funny. You know what I mean? Like it really gets you. It draws the funny out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
My number 1 favorite thing of both these movies. Well, I'm going to hesitate to say that because I might change my mind a little later. But for right now, my number 1 is the fact that we have Pepper fucking Brooks on ESPN 8, The Ocho. And my favorite moment of the whole movie is effing A! Cotton effing A! That guy is solid fucking gold in that movie. He is legit, dude.
I'm not a big Jason Bateman fan.
And
admittedly.
You can go fuck yourself. Podcast over. I quit. Like if you
but
can't
he
get behind
is
Jason Bateman,
but he's fucking amazing in this movie.
He is so good. And they're forfeiting and he's like, "Oh, interesting ploy. Let's see if that works out for him." And he puts his knee up. The guy sells that shit so good.
One of my favorites is I don't know how they can play in diapers, Cotton. I never could.
Oh god. That whole duo, the duo of both those announcers together are great. Like I didn't take the time to look up that guy's name, but he's the guy from
Gary Cole,
Pineapple.
man.
Gary Cole, that's it. Shit, thank you. But Jason Bateman and Gary Cole, that whole combo is like gold. Just absolutely
when they dress up in the S&M costumes on accident or whatever, like they have to. And Gary Cole says, "There's like a Justin Long's character does like he bumps the ball away." Like he bounces it away so he doesn't get hit. Like he uses the ball. And Gary Cole character goes, "Good touch by the submissive one out there."
I know, right?
I was fucking laughing so hard. It's so quick. Like the 13-year-old me would never have gotten that. Like ever.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Is like I picked up on some of the subtleties, like when they have the S&M costumes by accident and they're like coming out of the tunnel. They're like walking out like they just got released from a dungeon from the first time in like 10 years. They're like swatting at the smoke and they're like, the lights. Like it's hilarious.
There's another good Cotton or Patches moment where he says, You gotta grab it by the haunches and hump it into submission.
Hump it into submission.
So ridiculous. I fucking love it though.
Those
I'm sorry, I'm on a Cotton quote thing.
I think the dog's off the leash, yeah, right?
The dog's off the leash, yeah.
Dog's off the leash.
we're tuning in now to the awkwardly feminine and possibly Canadian.
Possibly. They like I'm telling you, it's so fun. So through okay, wait. One of the most quotable parts of this movie for me after I watched it is the that's it, boy. Get in there nice and deep like.
That has legs, man. People
Dude.
quote that to this day.
To this day. That shit is like gold.
I realized where you got tripped up. I didn't share my favorite School of Rock moment.
Oh, that's it.
My favorite School of Rock moment. Sorry for the.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Be kind. Rewind real quick. Oh, another iconic Jack Black role for your School of Rock #1.
Oh, Steph. I'm gonna give it some space, Josh, so I can try and fuck with it. So just give me a second. Sure. My #1 favorite moment from School of Rock has anything and everything to do with Tamika. When Mr. S holds her up and lets her know she's got pipes, when she's nervous and insecure about her weight and about performing for the first time and how he's got her back. And he's like, you know who else has a little bit of a weight problem? It literally like puts tears in my eyes, both instances. Those are my two favorites.
Yeah. That I mean, the way that movie is, like, you keep saying it's heartwarming, like it 100% is, because he like breaks these kids out of their shells, like he gives these upper class kids a little bit of punk rock spirit to buck their parents and say, you know what, no, I want to have a little bit of me time every day, like I want to do something that's for me, you know, like I don't want to do you, like you're kind of a dork, dad, like I want to play this guitar, you know, like I want to listen to Jimi Hendrix, like leave me alone, you know, like it's heartwarming for sure.
I'm just giving a little break because I'll probably just have to, just because that was my fault. But it's fine. It's great content.
Good, pimp.
No, it's fine. I'm not worried about it. Oh, one of my other favorite Cotton moments. It's like a lead in to the tournament, and he says, "It's kind of like the World Series and World War II combined." It's on ESPN 8, the Ocho.
The Ocho. It's that feels like almost like the world. That's the thing about this movie. That's why I watch this movie and I'm not like, I don't get too, like, there's language in it that I wouldn't use, but I don't get too like chafed about it, because it's like, this movie is satire and it's everything turned up, you know, like a few degrees. Like it's not supposed to be, like it's supposed to be outlandish, right?
Yeah,
that's what it's
absolutely
supposed to be.
I mean, we get Lance Armstrong, William Shatner, and Chuck Norris in this movie.
We do.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, that Lance Armstrong cameo is hilarious. The whole
I think so.
The whole, I mean, yeah. I mean, look, Lance Armstrong should have never lied about his shit, but like, let's get real. The dude deserved all those titles because everybody that he beat, at least the first 30 of them, were also doping. So like, let's not, and that's all come out. So like, let's not get real. But anyway, the whole like, oh yeah, I remember when I got diagnosed with testicular, brain, and what was skin cancer or whatever it was. Lung cancer all at the same time. Like I thought about quitting too. Like, so what is it that's keeping you from, what's this terminal disease that's keeping you from playing dodgeball? Mostly shame right now. And that's one of those moments when you're like, I kind of like Vince Vaughn again. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Totally. There's two other Ben Stiller quotes that I literally might say like once a month, under my breath, when I win a certain small social situation. Total facial LaFleur. Like I still fucking say that as a 29-year-old man. And then Joni loves Chachi.
Yep, that's a great one. That's a great one. Yep. That's a good one. I mean, do, I think one of my favorite quotes of the whole movie is at the regional qualifier when Booger from Revenge of the Nerds is announcing the winner. It's like the old drug test thing, and then the little girl's like, "God damn you, Bernice!" That shit cracks me up every fucking time. I'll
Yeah, I love
never
that
get
part
over
too.
that
I was
one.
like, when that happened, I was like waiting for it. God damn it, Bernice.
Oh, also, a cool quirk in Dodgeball too is like you you can do the internet research if you want, but I'm 99.9 sure that when White Goodman is masturbating with the slice of cheese pizza, that Patton Oswalt is the person narrating the cooking show. It's like, that's right, put that dollop of mozzarella right in the middle. And it's like, he's like, I caught that this time. I was like, oh, Patton Oswalt, what a great time. Oh,
Damn, good catch. Can we give it up for the dodgeball ref?
right?
That
Snazzy,
guy's amazing. You're out. I don't know. His conviction in his role is inspiring.
you're out. Yeah, that they he is, and I also love like that the guy that plays the main ref like does a great job of selling that character. Like whoever he is, kudos to you, dude. Like I clap for you. Like no joke.
I love him. What are some other sleepover movies that you loved as a kid?
Girl Next Door, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Euro Trip, Road Trip, Not Another Teen Movie, and American Pie. Those were like the movies because when I was like 13 to 14, 12 to 14, I was like anything that was like risque, like the raunchier, the better, was like what flew in my circle. So those were like the movies that were like, let's watch this.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
Like Mike. I feel like that's a recurring theme on this show that I love like Mike.
Are you little Bow Wow? Did you see yourself as little Bow Wow as a kid? Did you look up to him?
I just love that Jonathan Lipnicki was his buddy, you know? He had a friend.
That's the guy from what's it called? Stuart Little. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Little Vampires.
Never got down on that.
Yeah, I think he's in that.
Like Mike, I loved the first incarnation of the Incredible Hulk with Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Please see the Gabagool Chronicles for the correct pronunciation of a long A. Because I can't do it. Mostly just PlayStation 2 video games. That too.
Yeah, I've never been much of a gamer.
I mean, me neither, but
I mean, I played the I mean, all I can relate to literally is like the NBA game and Madden, whatever those were. I never played anything else.
You ever played Zelda?
Never. I have never played Zelda in my life. I've never played
Mario
Kart.
Do you believe in love like at all?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I do. I'm a practitioner of love every fucking day.
Word.
Yeah, that's right.
Whenever you're ready, I want to do a fucking mailbag segment.
I'm ready. Now.
It's your segment. Run it.
All right. Well, we got a lot of questions, and I picked 4.
Okay.
This week, we got a couple of questions from NC, couple of questions from Oregon, like per usual. But hey, we're going to grow that fan base. So send us questions if you want to. First question is, would you rather have Jack Black's style and hair from School of Rock or Ben Stiller's from Dodgeball? Chase?
Do I want to have sex again? Ever?
Yes, I'm sure. At some point.
Probably not Jack Black's.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
Well, folks, we're split.
I don't know if I want Ben Stiller's quaff.
I would 100% have the messy, like, I would go for Jack Black's hair and style in School of Rock every day of the week over the
Yeah, I'll join you in that camp. I don't
like
want. I obviously don't want to look like Ben.
WWE wrestling.
I obviously
like,
don't want to look
leotard.
like Ben Stiller. I'm sorry for saying that. crude
Are
comment.
you sure? Like when he walks up in that white suit, the leather suit with the purple ascot,
I
and
sure don't.
She slams his head against the wall, and there's like a bronze stain on the white wall from his like makeup. It's great. Okay. Is School of Rock Jack Black's best film? Question mark.
I think it's his most iconic, as you called it earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it's his most important, probably. And I think that he knew that when he did it. And I think you can tell.
I think that
The eyebrow roll when he's
I
watching the
think
kids in the
that
music room, like, come on.
I think that it is Jack Black's best film. And the reason I say that is because, first off, the film is good. Secondly, like we established earlier, which I learned on this very day, the role was written for him on a concept.
That shit brought me to
developed
tears.
by him, or not by him, but like because of him. So it just makes sense that like this is an artist in his fucking stride. Like you know what I mean? This is like the home run derby. I'm gonna throw you pitches at the speed you want, right down the middle of the plate, wherever you want them. I'm gonna throw them to you, and this is what that was. And he made the best of that pitch. And he knocked it out of the park. And I do think it's his best film because of that. I mean, he's got some great films. We already listed them in the beginning of the show, but the guy is there. But like, I think this is the Jack Black. This is Jack Black, right? Like, this is Jack Black, right?
Yes. This is the movie I would pick. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. A fun one. Which of the 5 Ds in Dodgeball would be your strong suit, Chebo?
So they're dodge, dive, duck, dip,
dodge. Yes.
So let's take out the ones that aren't dodge. So dip, no, I'm too tall. I'm not a good dipper.
Yep.
Dive,
Yep.
no. Height disadvantage. Too far to go.
Okay.
Duck.
Yep.
I think I'm going dodge. Just a little whoop.
Okay.
Little, like, twist my body. I'm gonna go dodge.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I'm going dip.
I could see you being a dipper.
I think I'd be a dipper. I think I'd like
Yeah.
I'd dip it. I would dip out of the way of a dodgeball. I feel
Yeah, you have like good neck movement.
This is 2021. I graduated 13 years ago, so that means it's been at least that long since I played dodgeball, but I'm pretty sure I'd be a dipper.
I'm going to be a dodger.
Dude, we're dipping and dodging over here. What the fuck you gonna do?
Hey.
Okay. Last question, and it's a good one, is who kills it more? Joan Cusack or Jason Bateman?
First of all, I just want to say that's a great question.
Take it away.
That's just a great question.
Right?
Someone loves these movies. Whoever asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Joan Cusack.
I want to go on the record and say Joan Cusack is the superior Cusack sibling.
Holy shit.
I'm saying it. I'm sorry. And I also am going to take this opportunity. We did not give you enough love, Miss Joan, but I am awarding you the face acting award in lifetime achievement form. Your face is an impeccable acting face from the Addams Family to Shameless to this very film, School of Rock. You bring it, and I love you, and you hold a special place in my heart, and you win that award, and I have that to say.
Just like the wide awake does.
Theme songs I like to sing. Ooh, baby, ooh.
Yeah, like Jason Bateman's great and hilarious. We quoted him for like 10 minutes, but
Look, you can.
but like I'm not crazy about Jason Bateman, and I'm kind of crazy about Cusack. That's all I'm saying.
And I feel your perspective on that. I love Jason Bateman too. So for those listening, with an even keeled choice, I still choose Joan Cusack because I love both people, but I still choose Joan Cusack. Chase is a bit of a Bateman hater. So anyway,
Go ahead and paint me in that corner.
I reached in a bit and I did not feel any more mail in the bag. So,
well, thanks for doing that, man.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing thoughts for today's episode? We had a great sleepover. We shoved a bunch of Chex Mix in our mouths. We did some prank calls. We had some laughs.
Yes, I've got one favorite quote to end on after I say one thing. I love both these movies. I just want to reiterate, that's what I think one of the things that we love is doing films that are not just, I'm going to get nominated for an Oscar. They have a purpose in your life. Like those of us who love movies, we watch movies with a purpose almost. Like sometimes you watch them because you want to think. Sometimes you watch them because you want to feel. Sometimes you watch them because you want to shut the fuck off and laugh. It's been a long week. And I want to laugh a little bit. And I just want to like cut my brain off and go back and feel a little nostalgic and forget, And I think these two movies they're different, but they both showcase that that vibe, right? But my favorite quote of the whole movie, of this whole episode, Jack Black, when he's talking about almost getting a gig, and it's Yo-Yo Ma's cousin. It is. The guy is gold. National fucking treasure. That's what I have to end on.
Those who can't teach Jim.
That's fucking true.
It's true. The gym teacher rolls with it. He gives it like a.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I get it. Like,
I get it.
Whatever. Okay.
Well, hey man, thanks for coming over. My dad, he makes pancakes in the morning after sleepovers, so help yourself on the way out.
Well, catch some liver mush biscuits.
Oh,
way out. Okay.
Oh,
I'd give I would literally.
I know what you were about to say. Can I tell everyone what you were about to say? That you would give your left testicle to have a liver mush biscuit.
I was gonna edit it for the national market, but I was gonna change to the left tip of my pinky. But yes, I was gonna say my left testicle.
I know.
To have a liver mush biscuit in the morning, I would do anything, but that is not possible for me, folks. So, bam.
Well, maybe I'll send you one with your case of Duke's Mayo that's on the way.
Oh! Now we're talking.
Hey, man, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for having a sleepover with me.
Cheers.
To the birds.
Hallelujah.
Go ahead.
Me or... Yeah, shouldn't we, learn by dodging balls that are thrown at us, or...
That's what this sack of wrenches is for. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What?
Oh!